You're now listening to a clip from the MarcWes Sports Podcast.
Find a way to win this game and keep their
playoff run.
Keep away from Trevor Lawrence. So that's a good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Thing.
We know the Jets gonna get him though.
As long as that happens, we good to go.
Jets, y'all need to win like one or
Jets,
2 games.
hopefully y'all don't get them either.
Yeah, no.
But next game I seen on tap was Cleveland and the Titans. This game is interesting because it's kind of an old school game where both teams have strong running games. Mm-hmm. The Cleveland Browns got two good backs in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and then you got Derrick Henry on the other side.
Feed me.
So this comes down to, hate to be cliche, but it's going to be quarterback play. And Baker Mayfield shows you stuff at times. Mm-hmm. And just like how Tannehill shows you stuff at times.
No. You got his name wrong.
So then you got to go to the defense. And to me, the defense of Cleveland is better than Tennessee's, in my opinion.
There you go.
So I feel defense actually proves to be the difference for the Cleveland Browns.
Exactly.
And they pull this game out because what they have to do, obviously, is shut down Derrick Henry. Or he's one of those players like you can't shut him down, you can only contain him. Mm-hmm. So if they can contain him for not a big run, because he's probably gonna pop a big run, especially late, which is what he does.
Exactly.
King Henry
gonna wear your ass down.
Out of Florida too, by the way, Yulee, where he was dominating.
You know we produce some motherfuckers.
So yeah, but I feel on the other side they got a better defense. So Cleveland wins this game.
Yeah.
In kind of a low scoring game to me, 20-16.
And that's why I agree with you 100%. I think that this game is gonna be defense first quarter and fourth quarter. You know, I think you got Derrick Henry. He's going to be doing his thing. But this is the game where I really think that Cleveland Browns going to really contain him. And he's not going to get that 100-yard, rushing for the whole game. I think that they're going to contain him to at least like maybe 60 yards, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on Tannehill, that former player for the Miami Dolphins. And I've seen this player for a long time. When he has time in the pocket, he can do his thing. He's not trash. You feel what I'm saying? Even, as far as a leader, he wasn't a great leader here, but sometimes, maybe it be that environment, maybe it be whatever it is that it didn't click and it clicked somewhere else. And I think he's clicking in Tennessee, but I do think that that defense that's coming with the Cleveland Browns, like Marcus stated earlier, they're stout. Every aspect of the game, that's for me, that's a complete defense. For me, Washington Redskins, that's a complete defense. Certain teams just gonna give you their defense just comes out of the screen, and that's what I get for the Cleveland Browns. The offense may not give you what they want. You got Baker Mayfield, second-year quarterback, kind of shaky off and on, up and down, but that's the whole point and product of being a young quarterback. You're going to learn from your mistakes, and I think that he's been learning from his mistakes. He hasn't been out there in the media talking shit, so people could go ahead and not like him more than they don't like him now, and I think that stepping back, and looking at yourself and saying like, I'm talking all this shit, but I ain't producing. You feel me? It'd be one thing you talking shit and you producing, but he was doing the complete opposite. And I think right now he's not making it about him. He's making it about the team. The team's gonna find a way to win. Sometimes the defense is gonna step up, which is a stout defense, like Marcus stated earlier. But I think the offense, they have all of the tools to go ahead and be a great offense. Some days it's gonna be this guy, some days it's gonna be that guy. Of course, if the quarterback was as accurate or had more time under his belt in Baker Mayfield, like 6-7 years, I think he would have been a complete different quarterback that you see right now. But again, he is what it is, and I think that he doesn't put him in a position to actually fail. He's doing it the way he's playing right now is how the New England Patriots had Tom Brady early on. Just do this, do that. Don't try to do too much, and then you'll go ahead and win the game. And I think that's exactly what's going to go ahead and happen. Defense's game, the score is going to be 17-14.
All right, another game which has some intrigue this week is the Steelers and the Washington football team.
Garbage ass Steelers.
The Steelers still undefeated right now, and I haven't popped my champagne yet, but it's still on ice.
So nice.
So we got one more week for the possibility of popping that champagne, but I actually think we popping it.
I don't think we're going to pop it this week, though.
I think we popping it this week. I think the football team is going to do it. Okay. Because I feel like the Steelers are, come on. They should have probably did worse to the Ravens on that Wednesday afternoon that we saw football.
True.
I feel like they didn't really play that well. I feel like the Ravens were depleted. They didn't have a lot of their players.
True.
And they almost beat the Steelers.
Exactly.
They barely got by Jacksonville, I think. There was a couple other games that I feel like were too close. So the question of them even losing is a done deal. They may win. They may lose more than one game. I think
frauds.
By the end of the season. But I think Washington football team pulls this one out. I think Alex Smith in that running game, they got one of the best rookie running backs that nobody's talking about, Antonio Gibson. They also got the other rookie who's dominating from Ohio State, who we're watching right now, dominate Michigan State.
28-0. I thought this was going to be a good game.
His name escapes me right now, the rookie from Ohio State, but he's a monster that's playing well, likely will win the Rookie of the Year, definitely on the defensive side. So I feel like that's going to be the difference, and they're going to beat the Steelers because unless the Steelers can get a running game, and that's the only chance that they win this game, but definitely go with the football team with the points.
No, I agree with you. I hope that the Washington Redskins defense, I think they're
not
the
football team, bro.
Washington football team. I think the Washington football team.
I think I went through that whole thing too. Without saying.
But I think they have the
Redskins.
number one defense in the league. I think as far as scoring, I think they have the number one defense in the league in score. The Washington football team. But I do think that the Pittsburgh Steelers is going to find a way to win this game. The game that I do think that they're actually going to lose or probably have a hard time winning is against when they play the Buffalo Bills. That's in a few weeks from now. Mm-hmm. But right now, I think that the Buffalo Bills will give them a harder time than the Washington football team. Why? Because one, the team is dysfunctional. Two, because their quarterback, Haskins, they don't know if it's Haskins. They don't know if it's the other quarterback. Again, you got the defense and defense win championships. And like I said, right now, number one in defense, I think is the Washington football team. Even though they got all this dysfunction, so they have something to go ahead and grasp on and look forward to in the future. But I really do think that Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go ahead and find a way to win this game. I ain't even going to give a score. I just know that they're going to win the game just because. So we could go ahead and transition into the next game.
You talk about the Buffalo Bills, so you might as well talk about the Bills and the Niners.
Okay.
I think this is going to be a fun game to watch.
Definitely.
Two teams that, kind of reminded me of the old school 90s.
Why not?
Both of these teams were
with
good.
Don Beatties and Thurman Thomas
like San
and
Francisco
niggas
with
like
Steve
that.
Young and Jerry Rice and Joe Montana, and Buffalo Bills with Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas.
Don
Andre
Beatty.
Reed and Bruce Smith.
Don Beatty.
Cornelius Bennett. James Lofton, Frank Reich, who's actually the coach of the Colts right now.
How come you didn't say Don Beatty yet?
Don Beebe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Come on, now. You gotta understand.
Of course,
you know?
Don Beebe. Like I mean, you said it already, so I ain't even have to say it.
Exactly. You know.
I mean, it's a game where I actually think the Niners are going to keep this competitive, you know.
Well, are they going to win?
But I don't think they win the game.
Exactly.
Unfortunately. I feel like Buffalo, is a pretty good team, and their defense is pretty solid. And they should come out with a victory. It's out there on the West Coast, but they ain't no crowd. It's COVID season, so I feel like it's probably gonna be a nice. They're normally playing in like cold weather, over there in Buffalo, and they're gonna go out to the West Coast, the Bay Area, and play a football game in front of no fans. Come on, man. I feel like Buffalo wins this game
handily.
I wouldn't say handily. I feel like for the 49ers got a really good defense.
Okay.
So, and their running back is finally healthy. Unfortunately, my
quarterback accurate?
Unfortunately, my fantasy team died a slow death this weekend. Rest in peace to the hot Tua time machine. You know, that shit died. That shit died this week, man, because of fucking Tyreek Hill blowing me the fuck out. No, but I did have Raheem Mostert also on my team, so I know about like him and his production. So he's gonna like get his. Most of the running backs is pretty healthy, and they're playing with a backup quarterback, and they beat the Rams last week.
Exactly.
So this is a team that's pretty good, but I just don't feel like they beat the Bills this week. So I feel like it's a close game, 24-17. Bills win.
I think it's gonna be like a quick game. Also, it's going to be a defensive game. Both teams got good defenses right now. But I think that, Buffalo got the better quarterback. Unfortunately, Garoppolo.
Josh Allen.
I thought that he was going to be doing his thing. But like Marcus stated, is Josh Allen, is doing his thing. He wasn't as accurate as he could be last year. But this year, I mean, he already has the size. He already has the weight.
He has the mobility.
He has the arm. The mobility is just with the accuracy, and he got that now. So unfortunately, he's in our division, the Miami Dolphins. But again, this is a game, and I think that he's gonna go ahead and do his thing. Defensive game, and he's gonna win this game. I think it's gonna be a game in 21-14. 21-14. Buffalo Bills. Matter of fact, 28-14 Buffalo Bills. And that's going to transition us into a little quick picks right now for the games that doesn't play too much of a key of a role. We really want to talk about it, but we're going to give them a little bit of respect because they're in the National Football League. The first game we're going to talk about